Well, welcome to the show. It's great to see you all here. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with your host, Christopher Laprath, and my name's Kenan, his son and the producer of the show. Now, first quick note, just a little piece of housekeeping here is for anyone who's joining us the first time, make sure to say hi in the chat. That way we know you're here and can do a reading for you. After the first time, it's just $10 per reading. And if you want to keep going after that, it's if you want to do for every show of the month, you can do $100 for the month. That'll give you a reading for every show, which is 3 times a week. So it's a pretty nice deal. Now, tonight, the title of the show is Open or Closed. And that got me thinking, well, why would you be one way or the other? And there are a lot of different definitions of that. Like, in this particular meaning, we're talking about being in an open system, an open state of mind, versus a closed down or fearful state. Now, either way, however we are, is going to impact our ultimate purpose in life. And by definition, our purpose is the impact that we want to have in life and the world around us. So there's a lot of misunderstanding around that topic, I think, with purpose, goals, and general meaning in life. I won't get too far into it, but the main point I want to make is that we all get to choose how we want our lives to be. And that's a great question to ask all the time, is how do I want my life to be? Because that will change. That picture changes moment to moment. We always come up with new things that we want, right? That's part of the fun. And that's completely okay. That's natural. We want the things we want because there's a lesson there for us. So how do we create that life that we want? Well, what we're doing is rewriting countless generations of unconscious programming, which was there to help basically train us to survive, right? All of this fearful behavior, the anxieties that most of us have experienced in some way, shape, or form, are there as survival mechanisms. And again, there's nothing wrong with them until they start creating problems, and then they need a little bit of addressing, and love usually is the solution. But without any further ado, I'll turn it over to Christopher Laprath. Thanks for listening to me here, and enjoy the show.
Hey, thank you, Kenan. Thank you all for being here. And I always start the show by lighting the incense. Great blessings to you for being an open system. So, great blessings of change and leaving the closed system, like Kenan mentioned, generations of ingrained or entrained fear, frustration, worry, and knowing that it really isn't yours. It's an opportunity to step into an open system. You can do a little research on what I'm going to talk about next yourself, but it's in 1977, the winner of the Nobel Prize was a man named, he was a Belgian physicist named Ilya Prigogine. Prigogine. And he won his theory around dissipative structures. And one of the things he did is he went to South America and he studied these brown beetles that lived on a brown log. But when the log was disturbed or hit, the beetles would create chaos. They would just fly every direction in a panic, and eventually they would land on different flowers, different plants, different things. And then he noticed that these beetles would then change their color to the plant they landed on or the flower they landed on. They would change that color. So what he won the Nobel Prize for was this theory of dissipative structure, an irreversible process in which nature constantly moves to higher and higher orders of functioning. That is why I love having every one of you on this show. Is if you look back when you were a brown beetle on a brown log a few years ago, and then something hit that log. Something hit that log hard. Death, divorce, health, something hit that log. And there was chaos. Absolute chaos. Hey, but you landed on a purple tulip or a chartreuse leaf. And so I know that I'm talking to all different colors of you right now because you're different. You're different. And you know what? In 6 months, you're going to be different again. Because what is beautiful about this is once this is set in motion with your life and these changes occur, they are self-organizing and transcendent. And the force enlarges awareness, and it ensures survival, and it continues growth. Yeah, living in a haunted house for me, very traumatic, but also very wondrous. And so that was it was one of my brown logs when I was a brown beetle. And when those things hit, I realized that my gifts were being revealed. And so I needed to go through that for whatever reason to understand that the universe is way bigger than what most people see and think and feel and hear. And that's why all of you are here, because every one of you, I know, because I've talked to you, I know you, you've had some amazing, amazing experiences knowing that there's a bigger picture. And this is nature self-organizing. This is nature moving toward higher levels of functioning, which means you are moving toward higher levels of functioning. That is an open system, which is opposed to a closed system, which is where you shut down learning and responsibility, or one shuts down learning and responsibility for transformation. And no judgment there, but that is not a fun place. That is not a fun place. So everyone has the capacity and therefore choose to live in this open system. So potential is merely the degree to which one can transform. It doesn't matter how fast you're transforming. It just matters that you're transforming in your levels of thinking, your levels of experience, your levels of sharing who and what you are. So that is my message for today. And then I pulled a group card for all of you, which is very good. And by the way, thanks for the new people being on here. Sonia and Dawn, it's so great to have you back. It's really great to have you back. The group card tonight, it's actually pronounced Thoth, even though it looks like Thoth. And some people pronounce it Thoth. That's okay. He was an Egyptian god, and many believe that he was actually the king of Atlantis, priest king of the ancient city of Atlantis. But he brought higher thinking into Egypt, and many believe that he was responsible for the things that we know of as the pyramids, hieroglyphics. He brought writing. He brought higher knowledge and different ways of communicating that higher knowledge to mankind. That's the point of this card. And it is about divine magic. So some of you and some people have come to me wanting an explanation for what's happening to them. And I can give you the outline to it, but sometimes I can't really explain it. It's kind of on a need to know basis. Just like I talked about last night. You don't want to know the whole movie before you go into the movie. There is a learning that is achieved, just like when I was younger, I used to throw hay bales, and it got me in shape. Believe me, it got me in shape. So the things we go through, the things we've been through, shape us, and we learn from this. And this is the Thoth, okay? But he brought together this congregation of evolved souls. Sound familiar? And to connect so here's what's happening with all of you. It's this ability to connect to your greatest gifts in this lifetime. They're opening up. Stop questioning yourself. And not just these enlightened gifts from this lifetime, but many previous lifetimes are coming forward. Some of you were killed in previous lifetimes for who you were, what you knew. Maybe you were labeled a witch or did magic, or maybe we're a scientist and we're bringing new knowledge and we're killed for it. Whatever that is, this is the time that you're bringing it forward. And also the time of rising above the aspects of your life that are holding you back. Brown beetle, brown log, nope, you're done. You're moving again above that and forward. And this is awakening the teacher within. Step up to this teaching of who you are and what you do and what you know. That's the Thoth deck. So, great blessings to you. Let's see, I want to check my notes to see if I left anything out. All right. Are you willing to let go of telling the old stories? Are you willing to let go of telling, I used to look really good in brown. And really the best color for my house, the walls, the floor, brown. Stop telling that. Rejoice in your fuchsia. Rejoice in your green color. Rejoice where you're moving forward, what you're changing. Letting go of the past, letting go of those old ideas. Those old ideas once served you, but they are now a closed system. They no longer serve you to your best and highest. And know that when fear gets loud, it's because you're on the cusp of something powerful. Those beetles were scared to death of that stick, but it got them free of that log. Okay. All right. Who's on first?
Very good. It's Laurel.
Hey, Laurel. Laurel's first?
Yeah.
Laurel. Hey. All right. So if all of you are joining us tonight for the first time, I am pulling cards. You have to say something in your chat. We have to know that you're here. Otherwise, we don't know that you're here. Okay? So let us know that you're here. And just say hi. We can pull a card for you. Now, the card I pull for you is for you. But last night, I pulled a card for somebody. And it had to do with not taking on sorrow. And I got a text from someone in the group. that said they were taking care of someone in hospice, and it absolutely related to them. So even though I pull a card for you, it may absolutely apply to someone else in the group. Okay, so here we go. Hey, Laurel. So, Laurel, you have some really good friends. But if they showed up every night at your house at 5:30 for drinks, and then wanted you to come out and party till midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, what would you do? You might try it for a few days. Knowing you, Laurel. But after a while, it's like, it's too much. It's way too much. So you go, no. Maybe on every other Wednesday, or maybe every other Friday night. Maybe. They stop coming by. You're traveling at night, girlfriend. You are the body rests, and people have different terms for this, but it's the soul or the aspect of you that travels, because you're such a magnet for new experiences and learning, and you're wanting to bring so much to the earth. But it's too much. So when you go to bed at night, tell your body, tell this soul, listen, I need to rest. I need to get this rest, because all this coming and going is waking me up. Okay? Yeah, it's yes, like astral travel. So if you have any smoky quartz, if you have any obsidian, keep it by your bed at night. But set the intention and tell your guides, listen, I really appreciate you, but I have got to get some rest. Because sometimes they don't understand a physical body, or sometimes what it takes to function in a physical universe. But they're just eager, and it's not party, and they have good intentions. But this is why you put salt under your bed, and change it out every couple of weeks. So then, the other thing too is put salt at your front door or your garage door, whatever door you come into your place, and set the intention that when you're pouring the salt there, nothing and no one enters this place unless it's for my highest and best good. Because we can be like sponges, or if you've passed through a fire on the way home, and the smoke gets on you, people can smell it. That's the energy. Sometimes we get around energetic people that are very low vibration. They're in a closed system, and it kind of gets on us. And so it's important to be mindful of that and clear it off as you feel it. When the salt will help, like when setting that intention, pouring it at your front door, back door, it's very cleansing. Holy water in churches is comprised mainly of salt. It's just basically salt water. Okay.
So next is Lindsay.
Hey, Lindsay. Happy Monday. So when I was in my religion, was programmed to try to save everyone. And again, we've talked about this being an exercise in futility. It really is. This is about when you feel a disruption, when you feel anxious or whatever you're feeling, think of it as having some boiled eggs and anchovies the day before. And you're kind of burping it up. It's thoughts. So it's like I talked about the Thoth card, right? The Thoth card, where when fear gets loud, it's because you're on the cusp of something extremely powerful. And releasing old ideas and limiting stories. Because it's really necessary for you to connect with the power within you. So when this stuff comes up, it's a good thing. And then you learn never to eat hard-boiled eggs and anchovies together again, ever. It's a transformation. So better out than in. So when these things are coming up in your head, you're done compromising with the past and the present. You're done. You're done compromising with the way things were in the past, the way you thought in the past. And when those old things come up, or those old accusations, or that old crap, no, you're done compromising with yourself. Like you are fabulous. You're fabulous. Just paint. Today, like Kenan went and joined a rock climbing studio that's only about 2 blocks from us. But it helps get you out of, when you're doing something new, you're doing something that's retraining your brain. So just know that you're retraining your brain, and sometimes when you go to the gym for the first time, you get sore. It gets heavy. It gets hard sometimes. The same thing with retraining your brain. Old stuff is leaving. Okay, here we go.
Nice. This is Marilyn Pitts.
Hey, Marilyn. I love you guys. I promise I will put together a party, something that we can all get together and meet each other for a weekend. When the student is ready, the master will appear. So you're feeling ready. Where's the master? We are a master. This is you connecting with Source without the Klingons. Again, this is kind of similar to Lindsay's card, where old things are falling off. And when you look at this beautiful card and this older soul, it's like Osho, right? A guru, this master, and then this enlightenment. If you can all picture this, however you want to picture your connection to Source and who you are, it's not like Source is separate from you. You are Source, but if like in this card, it's pictured as this orb, this brilliant orb above this gentleman's head. Connect to Source. All of you are going to find you saying the darndest things, and you don't know where they came from, or you want to try to, like, why did I even say that? I'll give you an example. I told you the story about many years ago. This woman comes to me and she wants to know whether she should keep her job. It was Saturday. She had put a letter of resignation in on Sunday, or on Monday she was going to put it in. And I simply told her, well, you're pregnant. And it's a little girl and she's going to be premature. Well, the woman got mad at me. You know the story. And she's like, she got mad. She got mad at me because I never answered her question. And she's like, I would know if I'm pregnant. I'm not pregnant. Anyway, you know the story. She was pregnant, 2 months premature. My point of telling you that is that came from Source. And it just came out. So Marilyn, and all of us on the show tonight, are we willing to release the fear of being wrong or being wronged or people being mad at us for who we are, what we believe, what we say? This is you coming more and more into your power. Okay? All right.
Very good. Next is Austin.
Hey, Austin.
Marilyn said she's like grasshopper too. Like a kung fu bear.
Yes, you are grasshopper, but you are also master. So, Marilyn, just if any of you, I know some of you can't see all the chat, but Marilyn says, I'm the grasshopper. But again, that photon is a particle and a wave. So yes, you're the teachable one, but you're also the teacher. Okay. Sending you lots of love here, Austin. Remember, the spiritual heart really cannot be broken. So I'm just sending you lots of love. Anywhere where you have been rejected or you felt like your physical heart was broken, that's repairing now. Really, really big time. And it's so it's your willingness to let go of any brown log and expectations in or from a partner and expand that love out to everything and everyone, and it begins to grow. It begins to expand into even more meaningful relationships. I mean like career, business, caring. This is you coming more from the heart every day, not just in looks. You know, you look good, but it's this really being able to speak your heart without being shut down. And if you are shut down, that's more about them than it is about you. And anywhere where you've been shut down before, are you willing to let go of that, the old brown log, and move into this heart? This is called the Lover's card. And it's just like Kenan said at the beginning of the show, it's really all about love. And we're here, that's the highest vibration there is. We're here to learn about this love and loving ourselves despite what we've been told. Hey, Dawn. Everybody welcome Dawn back. Oh, this is too funny, Dawn. It's the Source card. You know, you know, you know. Listen to your kids. Your children are extraordinary. I could do 2 or 3 or 4 shows, everyone, just telling you stories about Dawn's kids. Amazing. This is some kind of promotion. But it's also protecting your source. So what I'll do is I'll call you on this one to kind of explain what I'm talking about. But it's a very fertile time for you. And I'm going to use impregnation as a metaphor where there's something about to be given birth to, or these energies are forming, just like the sperm and the egg. They're what they're showing me is like it's coming together, and there are very, very few women, maybe 1 or 2, that knew instantly when they were pregnant. What you're feeling is something new coming in. Like you're feeling it. Just go with it. Don't get angry. Don't get worried. Don't get concerned. It's part of that natural process. Okay? It's part of that natural process for you, just like when you got pregnant. Okay? So they're wanting me to tell you about your children and how extraordinary they are. What you're moving into, what you're feeling is happening, is just as extraordinary. But sometimes when you get pregnant, you're like, oh my God, how am I going to maneuver? How am I going to manage this? What am I going to do for work? Am I going to be practicing my yoga? Blah, 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 blah. Stay out of your head. Connect with source. Stay with that source. This is something new coming down for you. You can actually feel it. And it's in the beginning stages. So you're doing really well. But I'll call you. Okay, who's next?
Next is Lana.
Hey, Lanny. This is called the Mind card. Oh, there you go. There, Lanny. So this is called the Mind card. There are lots of people out there that think they're smarter than you. Okay, there are people out there that are smarter than all of us. There are people out there that are less smart. Okay? We all have different brains. But when you're working with somebody that's in the mind, that's in the head, that is totally lopsided on the left side of their brain, facts and figures, and this is the way it should be, and they have no concept of this other world, that's okay. What gets through to those people is this love. So when you're talking to somebody that's in their head or on a position, that's what it is. It's like people that are on a position, and you're in the real estate business. You've done this for years, where people are like, they want to appear smart, and they want to like John. You know, you're on the show tonight. You've dealt with people, like anybody in the real estate business, anybody in any kind of business, anybody that has ever held a job, which is all of you. You're dealing with people that are in fear when they're in too much of their mind. And so you can say to these people in your head, you say it silently, "Oh, Freddie, I'm just going to talk to your heart now." And you say that to yourself. Dawn, when you're talking to people at work, you just carry on a conversation, but in your head, you're going, "I'm only going to talk to your heart now. I'm only going to talk to the real Freddie. I'm only going to talk to the real. I'm not talking to the brain." The brain can talk to my hand, but I'm not talking to the brain. I'm talking to the heart. You talk to the heart. Lana, this is one of your gifts. And when people are upset, I'm getting like a family member, you just go, "I love you. You know I love you." And they cannot fight your force of love. Okay, I love that. Okay.
Next is John.
Okay, John.
John's
I knew John was coming up.
yeah.
And then, did Sonia say hello?
She never did in the chat, but I'm guessing she's watching.
Okay, so Sonia, if you're here, and can you figure out how to say hello? I hope you're still here. All right. Oh boy, this is such a great card. It is such a I mean, sometimes I think in one way or the other, we were all raised by these Jewish mothers that laid a lot of guilt, or if you were raised in any kind of religion, whatever it is. I'm not going to name any religion, but I'm using that as a funny kind of a thing with the guilt. You know, you should eat everything on your plate because there's lots of kids starving in China. It's that kind of a thing. And guilt is a tool that other people have learned to wield very, very well to maneuver others. Like your family members, John. If you get upset about somebody guilting you, thank you for being here and pulling this card. There's a charge to it. So reverse the charge and return to sender. Absolutely return to sender. They're wanting to get a charge out of you. It's literally like taking your finger and sticking it into a socket. They're wanting to get a charge out of you because people feed on, there are some people that feed on that charge. They like that. They like to help. They like to make people feel guilty, or they like to lay guilt on others because it burdens them and it somehow energetically feeds that person. So, are you willing to let go of ever buying into or feeling guilty about not playing the guilt game? Yeah, I'll call you. Okay, here we go.
Very good. Yeah, Sonia's here. He said she's here for sure.
Oh, Sonia is here. Okay, thanks for being here, Sonia. Everybody welcome Sonia. I'm not sure what platform you're on, Sonia, whether you're on Facebook or what. Okay, so actually, Sonia, 2 cards fill out. Creativity. Get back to who you are. Where you are creative and where you have open spaces. Look at this other card. This is existence. This is where you can see the stars. And also, I'm going to tie in because John was just there and he had the guilt card. Are you willing to let go of all guilt? Are you willing to let go of all guilt? It is not serving you at all, any way, shape, or form. This is about you moving into your creativity. This is Lindsay. This is also you. Oh God, Lana, everybody. This is the creativity card. Thank you for being here, Sonia. And then opening up. This is the open system. When you look at the stars, when you look at the universe, the possibilities are endless. Get out to where you can see the stars. Get there. Get there yesterday. Lose the guilt. Start creating your what is this? It's like decor. I don't know what that means, but it's like start creating your decor. Recreate your decor. Okay, good job. And then,
Nice, Teresa Mullins.
hey, Teresa. Nice to have you here. So, Teresa, have you ever heard, oh, it's gonna be bad, oh, you gotta be real careful, oh. Family. This is trust. Source, you have source. Source has you. You are source. You're getting freer and freer and freer. You're feeling more free, more blessed, more wondrous. And this isn't, I don't know if you've ever had flying dreams. But that feeling of flying in your dream is just like, wow, this is incredible. That's how every one of your lives on this show, Kenan and I, that's how we're moving into feeling more and more every day. This is not just takeoff for you. This is soaring. And everybody, Teresa just had the most darling baby. Oh my God. So, this is you just soaring. So What's interesting about this card, if you look at it, Teresa, there's a blue card, there's blue, and then there's pink, which is symbolic of a little boy, a little girl, and you're more into the blue, and you're watching over the pink. This is Mason has some gifts. Your kids and Dawn's kids need to get together because Mason will help you soar. So listen to some of the things that he says. They're really profound, and where you're moving to. You're moving into an entirely new space, a way of being. It's like a whole nother level, income level in everything. Love it. Okay.
Yeah, next is Scott.
Hey, Scott, thanks for being here, man. So, morality card. It's not your fault. Anywhere where anyone's put a judgment on you to try to make you wrong or bad or make it your fault, are you willing to let go of that right now? And are you willing to break any judgments put upon you about it being morally wrong or bad? Everything's a lesson, and that's the point of this. There's something too coming through with the Orient, Japan. It feels like Japan. I don't know whether it's a business deal. Oh, okay. So you know those shoji screens? The shoji screens. So if you're in a Japanese house, you don't really want to talk really loud because people in the next room can definitely hear you. Okay. It's not like a New York apartment. It's way worse. Don't speak of your plans. Be very, very careful who you speak your plans to because they get energetically corrupted or energetically diluted. Okay. And so that goes with all of us. So thank you for being here and pulling this card, Scott. Be very, very judicious about who you speak your plans to. That's the shoji door. But also, it's also a good thing because a lot of times we feel we're alone in the room, but the house is full of actually spirits, guides, angels, and they're just literally a shout out away to, or just a simple, not even a shout out, just using your voice. Guides, I need some help here. Give it to me. Show it to me now. So that's all, and that's causing all the clouds to break up. And you've seen sky again. Okay.
It's Jared and Kat.
Hey, Jared. Hey, Kat. Dr. J. Kat. For some people want to stay the brown beetle on the brown log, Jared. That's okay. My teachers used to tell me, you either get it now or you get it later. It's better to get it now. And what they meant by that is getting it later could be literally lifetimes. There are people that absolutely fear change. Institutions really fear change. Institutions really fear change. Think of the horse farmers when motor cars started to be built. I mean, on and on and on, right? There are thousands of examples of this. So you're part of this change, and this kind of deals with Scott's card earlier, where people don't have the capacity to see your vision. So be very careful about who you speak your vision to, because it's either going to go right over their head or they're going to start to oppose the change. They rather than change, they create chains. CHAINS, chains. And they oppose it because it's scary to them. You're safe, you're safe, you're safe. Again, it's really hard for people to let go of old ideas and old ways of being sometimes. Some people. Okay, and then we got Kat.
Yep.
Miguel's in.
He's watching, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, Kat. Thank you for being here. Great card. Sometimes it's really hard to suppress it. But go take a walk. Number one, it could something that's activating you. Go take a walk. If you have amethyst, go grab your amethyst. Go hold it. It's okay for you to sorry, shut my phone off. It's okay for you to express yourself, but the suppressing is part of. It's important to not waste your energy explaining things to people that aren't going to get it. They just don't get it. So I think I said this last night. It's not my policy. I was talking to Jared about this. That's just not my policy. You want to suppress saying you're just too much of an idiot. You definitely want to suppress that. But find some creative ways, some creative, energetic ways to move the energy. So exercise, walk, go move it. You got to move it, move it, move it. It will help move some of this energy. Okay.
Yeah, Miguel's last.
Okay. Hey, Miguel. Awesome. I'm so glad you're here. Sir, you're moving into something that, and I think I've talked about this before, the oak tree is way, way better than the bamboo tree. No, no, no. Sorry, the bamboo tree is way, way better than the oak tree. In any way, shape, or form, are you willing to let go of fitting in? And are you ready to step up to stand out? Are you willing to step up to stand out? I'm going to ask every one of you on the show, are you willing to step up to stand out? Free of going, who, me? Yeah, free of going, who, me? You, it's you. You're important. You are important. And you're creating something, and be free of being caught into it having to look like anything that was created before. Those brown bugs could not even imagine turning the color red, or even they had the ability to turn whatever color they landed on. Go with your gut. Go with what it is you want, what feels good to you. What would be fun? It's how I met Scott the other day. It's just been 2 weeks ago that I said, hey, this would be fun to go to the screenwriting seminar. Boom. Amazing. And it's like following your gut rather than what you should do. Are you willing to let go of what you should do, need to, have to? And this is you connecting with Source, but it's also this tremendous growth and judging, letting go of letting go of judging yourself on how fast you're growing. The oak tree takes centuries. The bamboo takes 10 days. Okay. So if you're reading stories about this guy was so successful in a year, lose all that energy around that, and that, ugh. So, Laurel and everybody on the show, it's not just the crowds that we go to or attend that we pass through these energies. It's what we read, it's what we watch, it's what we're feeding our mind, or what allows, it can be a phone call from a friend, it can be anything that we come into contact with can put these, or try to put these energies into place. We don't, return to sender. Okay, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. I will do this. Let's do this again, Kenan. What do you think? Wednesday night?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. He says, sounds like a plan. All right. Love you all. Have a great, great night.